Watch closely, because what's happening when markets crash or crises hit isn't just chaos, it's a brutal test that rips apart the weak and rewards the smart. And yet, every single time, ESG funds, they don't just survive, they often shake off the storm and outperform. Why? Because they're built differently. They're not some fluff labeled green or socially friendly. They're weapons forged in resilience, fueled by clarity that most investors completely miss. Look around. Founders, investors, leaders, feeling hammered by market crashes, stuck between desperation and confusion, trapped in a system wired to fail, not built for your freedom, not built to unleash your potential. You see that drop, that gut punch when everything tanks, and you wonder, why do so many investments bleed out, while some ESG funds fight back harder, climbing up when everything else falls? The truth is ugly and powerful. Those funds are not just about shiny missions or fancy marketing. They're focused on real, brutal survival factors nobody else talks about. First, they're hyper-aware of real risk. Not the risk someone in a suit tells you during a board meeting, but the risk stamped in the bones, environmental disasters speeding up, social unrest breaking markets, and bad governance that turns companies into ticking time bombs. The crises don't come from nowhere. They come from ignoring deep, interconnected vulnerabilities. ESG funds dissect these weaknesses in ways traditional funds can't or won't. They weaponize transparency, demand accountability, and then stake their bets on companies that actually care, not just about profits, but about survival through adaptation. You need to stop chasing returns from companies loaded with hidden risks, those ticking time bombs masked by slick balance sheets. Instead, zero in on impact investing firms with skin in the game, strong governance, ethical labor, environmental awareness, because those are the only companies that stand a chance when everything else crumbles. Next, ESG funds are built on long-term thinking, not quarterly gimmicks. Crisis moments reveal who's ready to pivot and who's just bluffing. If a company is built only to impress investors today, it will fold the moment, say, a climate storm or a pandemic hits. But companies with solid ESG foundations, they cultivate trust, loyalty, and flexibility in their core. They are embedded in their communities. They innovate on how to reduce waste, improve worker safety, and build supply chains that don't snap under pressure. You want to save yourself from watching your portfolio implode? Demand this kind of durable, adaptive mindset from your investments. Insist on it loudly. That means digging past surface scores and slogans, forcing your partners to prove they live these values from the ground up every single day. And here's the key. No one talking about loudly enough. ESG funds attract the right talent. Crisis moments expose leadership weaknesses like a spotlight. When the world unravels, only the best managers, those who truly understand complex environmental and social challenges, steer their ships to safety. ESG-focused firms fill their ranks with people who think systemically, act ethically, and execute ruthlessly. Leaders who will ditch toxic short-term profits the second they smell danger, pivot smartly, and rebuild faster. This is where your frustration turns to fire. Start backing leaders and teams who don't just chase legacy or fame, but those who are deeply connected to purpose and proven processes that withstand storms. You are tired of systems that break you, of markets that betray you, of investing in illusion after illusion? Here is a brutal truth. If you want to solve that, your money must not just flow anywhere, it must flow smart. You must wield capital like a weapon of transformation, not gambling chips on fragile hype. Find those investment vehicles that live and breathe impact, that align profit with purpose in a way engineered to crush crises, not collapse under them. Do not settle for the busy noise of compliance checklists or PR spin. Build your portfolio around true defenders of change, those who demand radical transparency, who embody resilience, and who refuse to play the old broken game. The survival of your wealth, the growth of your influence, and the future you want to build depend on this shift. Stop chasing hollow promises. Cut through the confusion. Hunt the few real champions of impact investing who are battle-ready, crisis-proof, and future-driven. Link with founders and investors who get it, who defy borders, and who wield capital as a force to reshape reality itself. Because this is not just about money. It's about freeing yourself from outdated systems, transcending inherited limits, and finally finding power in connection and relentless clarity. The crisis is not your enemy. It's your truth serum. Look hard, choose smart, act fast, and watch as ESG funds knock down walls and rise above the chaos while others fall. This is your call. Master it or be destroyed by it.